أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. Brothers and sisters, fellow Gambians, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Just a very quick message and a clarification and perhaps a lecture for a few that refuse to believe and refuse to accept simple facts about our laws and our constitution and our lives. Sorry, I'm plugging my charger. So, Brother Lamin Jassy posted something very interesting. I know he knew the answer, but he just provoked some people. And the reaction and the response by some people was really, really bad. And because perhaps it's again yellow, so people have to go and start talking about Barrow and here and there. So there was a question whether now that the National Assembly is elected and the parliamentarians are elected and it's 5 years, if Barrow should resign after 3 years or he should stay to finish the same tenure as the National Assembly members. Koto Lamin Jassy asked the question, and you know, it's normal to ask those type of questions, but some people's response were very kind of sad, and it's always very sad and very sickening. You know, the way people, you know, attack and associate everything negative to United Democratic Party. It's serious. But this is not about the UDP. This is about the constitution of our country. And that is why I said this is going to be a reminder, a clarification for some. But for some, I'm going to lecture you. I'm not a law student. I'm an engineering student. But some of you so-called analysts, we have to lecture you on some of these things because we had a panel on this matter, and I had the opportunity to discuss this with some very powerful legal luminaries, especially within the UDP itself. So, the agreement that Barrow should resign after 3 years is unlawful. As simple as that. It's unlawful. The agreement that President Adama Barrow should resign after 3 years is not lawful, is unconstitutional, is against the laws of our country. It's not UDP, please. If you are arguing about this, argue it somewhere. It has nothing to do with the United Democratic Party. It is about the laws of our country. It's just like the analogy is simple. In our country, it's not acceptable for you to marry your sister or your brother. It's incest. It's against the law. You can agree. There are people that sleep secretly, that sleep with their sisters in the Gambia. We have people that sleep with their sisters, their brothers, their daughters. We have people that do that. If you have that agreement with your sister and your brother, that is fine. Go discuss with your sister, sign an agreement with your sister that you want to marry your sister or your brother or your father or your daughter. But if it goes to court, that's unacceptable to the law. Gentleman agreement, whatever form of agreement it might be, it has nothing to do with our constitution. Constitutionally, it's unacceptable. Now, again, in life, you have an objective to everything that you want to do. there is always an end result that human beings want to achieve anytime they set out an objective or a goal, or they agreed on something. There is something they want to reach at. So when you ask President Barrow to resign at the end of the 3 years, if he resigns at the end of the 3 years, the objective, according to the agreement, was to call a new election. But the Constitution bars that too. That is also not constitutional. Barrow's resignation will have nothing to do with elections again. If you want Barrow to resign after 3 years, that's fine. The laws of our country, the Supreme Book says, if Barrow resigns for whatever reasons, the Vice President takes over to complete the tenure of office. So if Barrow resigns, Fatoumata Tambajang will become the President. And she will continue for the next 5 years. Whatever is left to the election year, and that is 5 years. If Barrow resigns in 2020, there will be 2 years left. What's going to happen is Fatoumata Tambajang will take over. There will be no elections again until the completion of Barrow's tenure. If Fatoumata Tambajang also resigns, the new Speaker of the National Assembly will become the President. She will take control of the country. So there will be no elections. So, people are arguing about this and making people believe as if it is UDP that is again. I have seen people write despicable things again because, people say Barrow cannot resign. And there is something that we need to understand. There is a local standi in our laws. Now, every citizen has a right to hold someone accountable that you elected into office. Every Gambian can take Barrow to court if he stands by the agreement. Every single voter. This has been discussed. My mother can go to court and tell Barrow that you agreed with me, that we are going to be in power, you're going to be there for 5 years. And that was what Barrow did. When they went round for campaign as a coalition, they never told our parents and our brothers that they are going to be in power for 3 years. They didn't have that agreement with the electorates. So in our laws, by default, Barrow agreed with Gambians to serve for 5 years. And Gambians voted Barrow into office to serve for 5 years, not 3 years. So for Barrow to resign, that's fine, a president can resign. But if Barrow resigns, the electorates have given powers to the individual that Barrow appointed as a vice president to continue being their president to complete the 5 years. If the vice president also decides to resign, the Speaker of the National Assembly will have to, by default, already owns the power or is given the power by the electorates, those that voted the president in, to continue to rule for 5 years. So if you want Barrow to resign because you want elections, it's unfortunate. There will be no elections. There will be no elections. And there will be no elections. If you have somebody you want to be a leader, you want to be a president in 3 years, we are sorry. You can only do a coup d'etat. Go and prepare for an insurrection. Or go and prepare for a civil war and take power by force. But let's also go and read our laws and understand a little bit of our constitution. Instead of going after UDP and insulting them. And again, these are people that said, Fatoumata Tambajang cannot be a vice president because of the constitution. Barrow appointed Fatoumata Tambajang. You said all kinds of things. It's unconstitutional, it's unconstitutional. But you are now again, advocating for something unconstitutional. Very clearly. 3 years agreement between you, that's nonsense. That's their business. That is Barrow's business with Halifa Sallah, with OJ Jallo, with Fatoumata Tambajang, with Mai Fati, with Aïssatou Touré, with Henry Gomez, it's their business. That's their agreement. That has nothing to do with us. That's our law. That's our law. And our law says a president has to stay in power for 5 years. Gentleman agreement. Let them do whatever they like with that. We, as Gambian voters, voted Barrow in for 5 years. There is no law whatsoever that says Barrow should rule for 3 years and step down. And if Barrow decides to step down after 3 years, there will still be no elections in that country, because the Constitution has already made provisions as to what should happen should Barrow die, should Barrow feel sick, should Barrow be incompetent, should he be sacked, should he resign. Constitution has already made a provision for that. And I will repeat it again. If Barrow resigns and say, okay, I agreed with Halifa Sallah, I agreed with OJ, I agreed with Fatoumata Tambajang, I agreed with Henry Gomez, Mai Fati, that we are going to elections after 3 years, we'll say, thank you, Barrow, resign. If he resigns and tells us, you'll say, go to hell, Barrow. I'm sorry to say this language, but you and your agreements, go make that in Fish Island, maybe some country called Fish Island, not the Gambia. If Barrow resigns, Gambians will swear in Fatoumata Tambajang and say, hello, Madam Tambajang, you are the interim vice president, rule us for the next, whatever time is left to the 5 years. If Fatoumata Tambajang said, oh, I was also part of the agreement, we will not talk. We will wait until she submits her resignation and say, let's go to election. We'll say, Mama, go and sit at home. We will go for the Speaker of the National Assembly to lead us for 5 years. That is what happens. But in Manke, UDP Talkana, UDP Nemfeobela. Ha UDP ni. This is not UDP. This is Gambian Constitution. Sometimes you get so frustrated by people. So that is very important for us to know. And I would also say it again. Barrow can run for another term in office. There is no law that bars Barrow from running for office. He can again run as president. He cannot sit at home. That is a gentleman agreement. It has nothing to do with our constitution. Barrow can decide and run again for another term. If he wins, he will continue. I am hoping that this year they will put if the speaker said no, Ahmad Gita is here. My name is in the constitution. If the speaker says no, come for me. I'll be the next president. Yes, if the speaker said that is hidden in the constitution, nobody sees it except me. If the speaker said, oh, I'm resigning, there's a part that he will not see. So, there is no resignation. This government, if you want to see this government resign in 3 years, you have to be patient. We have 5 years to go. And I'm telling you this again. All of you Gambians that are watching this, any Gambian that voted, you have what we call loco standi in law. You can sue Barrow to court. Yes, because Barrow went to you and told you to vote for him. By default, he asked you to give him a mandate of 5 years. You have given him that. If he resigns, take him to court. You have that right to do. You can take him to court. Now, that is a very important question. Why did we sign the agreement? Well, I would ask, it was a mistake. But then we have constitutional buhabas there. Those that will, even if you cough, they will say section 71. When you say my ribs, they say section 95. They were there when these agreements were signed. But they never said anything. Why didn't they say anything? Perhaps because they think they will be the presidents. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to answer that. But that's important for us to know. Let us put that into our minds. President Barrow, you cannot resign. If you resign, Gambians have a right. Every Gambian has a right to take you to court. And you must complete that 5 years. So you all have that. Please go there and tell Barrow that everybody, Nimanke Sanaro today, I'll be right sotole, Alieta Aliafo, Nimbaro Efonya Aliasamba Kitiol. Each of you has that right. You can take him to court if he resigns because of that gentleman agreement. If he's sick, that is something else. But because of that gentleman agreement, you can take him to court. Each and every one of you have right to do that. Now, you cannot insult UDP for that. You cannot insult people about that because that is what our law says. There is no provision whatsoever in our constitution for what these people agreed upon. Where they got it from is their business. What intention they had behind it is their business. That is not us. And let them go and sort that out. UDP ne. That's what I want to make clear. Nko, lefta min folale Gambian kolu. Ngaje lamin jasi saferoke. Kabira saferoke ako. Saye dipitel tombone. Fo, dipitel nyanda sanji lule kela. Fo, President Barrow nyanda sanji lule kela bang. Fa nyanda sanji sabale kela. Mole nyo sabaje dol nata nendiro kijede. Adu mojamal ka UDP neng. Eka UDP mol neng. Ya mirako fo UDP lo wala feo feng. Na keta drum Barrow. Itol mala fi feo fen na. Imala fi feo fen jela UDP le oke. Sonko. Ndol nganyin kajaken na radio tole dole akalam dal kabira nga kajaken ni luwa lo na balle diamuda kola. Bankola luato. Kabirim President Barrow tata campagnola. Lua kon. Barrow tata min dani molbulu. Wolom nyindi ko. Alinka la mansati fo sanjilulu. Faya afalie banfama afalie. Momo e woke bankola lua e min folom nyindi ko. Yamin nyininka molbulu wolem sanjilulu. Ye sanjilulu le nyininka molbulu puru ye karte o faye. So ni mole karte o faye sanjilulu banko la lua ko ebe taraje sanjilulu. Yo, wo sanjilulo ni de keda presidenti ima wo sanjilulo banno. Ni ma banno isa satale bang wale fatale wale ifamale ajibe ko nyim palaso asembo tantile ye fonyo wale ni mole kambenda fenna ye fonyo itete mo sendino la je banko la luato. Adite mol sambala no karte fayola bankola luato mimbi je wala nyindi ko nimbaro misal fe ay sanji sabake bayra nim moller kambende ko albe sanji sabake la ay fonyo ngata karte fayola baro se fonyo diata barole President Barrow barna e fonyo ntolla luato karte fayote kela de karte fayote kela mimbe kela Barrow no malanko vice president nyintemben Fatoumata Tambaja wala ba keta la Gambianol be palaso dila wala ya fay ko sayem Barrow tatal de itele be kelan na presidenti fojan nim Barrow la sanji lulo be ban nim Fatoumata Tambaja mfananga teta kenola mbadila Mariama Dentin la honorable speaker of the National Assembly. So wale batala luwa e wale landi wale bije. Ni mol kambenda sula banda itata kere pate wala kere alfa wala sare maudo e min kachaje min kambenje wobe tolle tema. Wonin tolla luwa manyo soto fenna. So President Barrow sanji lulu anyanta wale kela. Naman sanji lulu ke ay sanji sabake atentol sambala no karte fayola ntol benna anomalan ko mbole sendi la je ni obata je nga anomalan ka do sendi je so onka wala foten yo molka UDP ne nyimanke UDP kumadi nyimu bankola luwa bukolti nalman la jitala at least media mukan adu nyimu Facebook let ada alfanal se dia munol alta bankola constitutional jibe alen kana son sainga si mol kana ka dia mol kense mol fonyanga fo he kari karantal constitution on here Google Gambian constitution, go to Google Constitution of the Gambia 1997 it's there 1997 constitution is there adu nimbaro e fonyo nga fenne foteng ikoluwa to fenne bije ka fa local standard yalon demu engineering student ol dindamanke luwa student bari local standard ko Gambia di o Gambia ding iyaje wodula abe right sotole nimbaro e fonyo wo kankan ye baro samba kitiol you can take baro to court because atole baro alia elect 5 years le sanjilul by default baro e sanjilul le dani atol bulu nimbaro tata ako atebe fonyola because ani modol le kambenta kuola woto baro ya tol jamfale ada yalla luwa fana jamfale alse baro sambano kitiola adunde bama nanjay ay carte file my mom nimbaro e fonyo mba sambala kitiola nde Ahmad I will help my mom we will take baro to court me and my mom and I'm sure there are a lot of you people that will help me to take baro to court, right? Fantastic. So that is it. The agreement is fine. Again, I have nothing against that agreement. But everything about it is wrong in the constitution. And it is just a piece of paper. And unfortunately, for President Barrow, you have a long way to go. If you prepare to rule for 3 years and then go and enjoy the status of a former statesman, Barrow, you have a lot of work to do. Your Excellency, be prepared, oh, be prepared. Be prepared. Because that's very important. You have to be there. Now, people ask questions the other time. And I have seen somebody, Mimfana Nyininkaroka ko. Mune atinna, itol dodo mio kaito sign, imam fiam fo otonko. Nde malo, asekeno nyinatale, ibe nyinatale, because dolbe odla wale luwa lonne ba kefang, wolmu loyalty. My Fatim loyalty, lawyer ba, Halifa luwa lonne ba kefang, and we had lawyers there. You understand? So bari bitung, malon dalil jumale atina. So, I don't know why they signed that. I don't know why they agreed, even though it's against the constitution. I mean, they know. You can ask each of them about that. But to Gambians, I mean, that's out of it. That's out of it. I mean, they didn't vote, Barrow in for 3 years. They voted for Barrow for 5 years. So that's what I want to make clear. And anything else, I don't have time for. But it's not about UDP. It's not about United Democratic Party. It's about Gambia's constitution. It is about Gambian constitution. It's about the Gambia's constitution, not United Democratic Party. If there are arguments there, argue based on national matters and go away. You don't have to put in a party's issue. So, that's it. Constitution is more important than anything. Confidence, agreement, trust, call it anything. Those that went against the constitution of our country are the most untrustworthy people. Anybody that goes against that constitution is like when you go against Quran in Islam. So that constitution, agree. If you want to agree, trust, sign documents. But if it has not, if it does not go in line with that constitution, it is a disagreement. It is distrust. It is everything. So I think that is very important for us to understand as Gambians. And why are you in a haste for Barrow to step down? Because he's not performing? Why don't you want Barrow to continue? Why are you even disturbing people? Barrow is just 4 months in office. And you're talking about this agreement. Concentrate on Gambians that have lost lives. Concentrate on Gambians. Let's concentrate on things that are important, things that matters for now. And when that 3 years comes, we will deal with this situation. But you have to understand again, Barrow's resignation is not going to call for an election. If Barrow resigns, Vice President takes over. That's the provision in that same constitution. If Vice President resigns, Speaker of the National Assembly will take over. And they will be there to complete the tenure of the president that just resigned. So, I don't know why you want Barrow to resign, but, it doesn't change anything. Yes, Barrow can run again, and I say that. Barrow said, no, cut again, but Barrow, this is to President Barrow. If you are standing, I don't know where you will stand, not for UDPO. You can go to GDC. Mama Kande is in need of a leader. Barrow, you can go to GDC next election and stand for them. Mama Kande needs a leader, man. You can go and help Mama Kande and make his party too famous. That's it for that area. The other thing that I just want to say is, in Fonyi, I think it's the last week of April, there'll be a conference in Buyam. I am so happy, I'm so proud of my brothers and sisters in Fonyi that are actually organizing this conference, which is geared towards, dialoguing and discussing matters of importance to peace and peaceful coexistence amongst the inhabitants and members of various communities around that end. I am very proud of the people of Fonyi, Honorable Abasanyang. I am very proud of Prince Almame James Manga. Very proud of you people and anyone that is working towards making sure that we have a lasting peace and we have peaceful coexistence and wonderful friendship and neighborliness that had been with us before these problems happen. Oto alafo almamenyole mkontanta mbe tentula mbe jaila mbafule ko alnimbara aliyakata alama bengonyin adiala adun nim President Barrow na la mansa kunda karamuta be diala nye bake puru ya sponsor hani dalasi wuli keme wala dalasi wuli talul di mol min bitaje kontongol dila ye pasol joye bayring mansala do kuole mpuruka wa sifalke yo nimmol ye woke mansaye nyanta fola mansele mansanyanta fola mole la nimbar otombe Prince Almame James Mangana la mol be min yalon ko dabe ni reconciliation o kono mbafole ko ala baraka aliyakata mi yalon ko bake kam buyamle buyam nyin tembeng bitun laftami na olem Cairo soto ngafo sinya jama problemol min kake jolal ni mandin kol tema jannin jang ni ya jibe fana atole kawara bari domandin nom is less than 0.0001% of the people yo wo mu fenneti mi alonko nyantale nga hakilo tuje jolal ni mandin kol metale ye nyofutu ibadiyata adi sita fanang for wati jam. And that is something that we're all hoping is going to work, inshallah. And I'm very happy. And the last thing somebody wrote about UDP mourning. Yes, we are mourning. Tomorrow will be 1 year since Solo Sandeng was killed. It will be 1 year tomorrow since Solo Sandeng was arrested and tortured and murdered by Yahya Jammeh's regime. And unfortunate incident happened today, this morning. We lost another April 14 protester. Another victim of April 14 protest died this morning in the Gambia. We do not know what else Yahya Jammeh administered or did to these people apart from torture. He is the fourth person to die within 1 year of this problem. Solo Sandeng was killed. Lammarong died. Solon Kurma died, and now Ibrahim Asise died today. Ibrahim Asise was also part of the April 14 demonstrators. He was captured, he was arrested, he was tortured. And a year today is exactly 1 year he died. And we are very sorry because the father to this young man is our new MP for Serekunda West, Honorable Madi Sise, the newly elected National Assembly member for Serekunda West, is the father. So Mbafala Honorable Madi Ngasango Kontong, UDP Toyala, Gambia din kendo be Toyala, mbe afole ko alama tala Ibrahim Sise, alama nemanin kafar kelaye, alama la jam soni alaye. Adiminta de, adiminta bak. UDP fana, mbal fana al konton na sangola. Kabring April 14, 2016. Mo kende nani. Yahya Jammeh wolle famine alonko UDP dingol delmu. Diminta bak. Solo Sandeng, Lammarong, Solon Kuruma, Animbi Ibrahim Asise. Yahya le nyil befa. Ayefa UDP la mol delmu. Yo adung ame fa la bungol kone finditale. Kataka doku oke. Kataka banko ta kata to get the country out of this problem. And tomorrow will be the first year anniversary, the 14th of April, and Ibrahim died. It's very sad. He's a young man, our age mate, and I'm feeling very sad for the father. Madi Sise, losing a son at that age is painful. You know, is very painful. And that is all the reason why Gambians need to be thankful to Allah. That is all the reason why Gambians should be thankful for what they have heard from Allah. This change is a real change. People change for the sake of change. But Gambians, wallahi, our change is an important change. Otombal kondo nambal jaila almalen so kairola. nkombe fenna fola barinte o fola no sign. Because Farmata Tambajang, I am bulale def ma bay. Wahal len ko mantam. Bay nako. Leji amna kuma gis. Kuma buga. La dem lem lifin. Waaye loolu du muna neka tey ndew fola no bi Usman Ibama nga bulal sign nga musudole je national speaker of the National Assembly now is the new catch now. My new catch is the speaker of the National Assembly, Mariama Denton. If you want to be a Silanyadongo, come and tell me. But yes, thank you to all of you. Gambians, we can disagree. That is fantastic. We can disagree. But let us not go after UDP. I mean, it's not fair. Definitely it's not fair. It's now time to work for our country. Let's work for our country and work for our country. Almalen so Kairola. Almalen beso Kairola. Momo be National Assembly. Alomari ale makoi. Ale so hakilola. Ale so sondomola. Aning wisdom. Yena banko samba. Silola silomi alonko. Pata, yes. Now I left Fatmata Tambajang, no longer Fatmata Tamba. You know, me, big catch. I only have big catch. Pata, I hope you. Pata ite. Inyabe omu sanyabi mungsi living. Inyabe omu so nyakonol. Dumanangu lolu. Dumanangu man mako jis. Te sumanyabi mungsi anyakono. So dumana. Pata, don't go there. Don't go there. Mariama Dentin Akman. Jisinande te buganante. Fo buganante lombang. Lefta nyolal. Fo buganante lombang. Frank Senghor. Frank, tomorrow you deny Allah. Day after tomorrow you accept Allah. You are a very good kotoke though. Allahu Akbar. Frank, I'm proud today. Yesterday you say religion was made up by people to create a special God, and today you are... Anyways, my mom is here. Zainab Ganem, please do something for me. National Assembly, Jigen Bobu, Sumanya bi, Mungsi Denga, Sumanya. So, Topotoma Fofurek, Hamga, Legite Manyo. Suma anti Topotoma Fofu. Mariama, I don't know, is it Mariama Dentin? Stuff, auntie, I don't even remember her name. But Mrs. Dentin Jite, add Jite there. And if Vice President comes back, Fatmata Tambajan, that's big. Every man wants great women. Can you imagine? Gambians should be very proud today. On a very much serious note, we have two most powerful people of our country after the president as women. Aren't we proud as a nation? After we sent out Yaya Jammeh, we have not only instituted people in office, but we've instituted people that are competent in office. Vice President Fatmata Tambajang today is the chairperson of National Security Council. Anything that happens, anything regarding security, if she has approval, she is the chairperson. Apart from President Barrow, only her can declare war against any country. Aren't we proud today? And are they mismanaging? Are they misbehaving? No. So this is a way for us to know that our mothers, our sisters, our aunties can do it. And I'm sure, Barrow, you've done the best. And never change this Fatmata Tambajang, even if it is going to take 1 million years for the constitution to be amended. Fatmata Tambajang Mungfa. And you know, Gambians, you don't even know. She's having 2 salaries. She is having a vice president salary. She's having women affairs ministry salary. You would have made it easier for us. And what's going to happen? She's going to be vice president but Alhamdulillah. The other day I heard Usenu, Honorable Foreign Minister, address her as Madam Vice President. I was so happy. Yes. I was so happy. And people will start and say that is unconstitutional. But the very people can tell Barrow to resign after 3 years. And that's why I'm happy when people in Fatoumata Tambajang, billahi makowa, Allah si sobe yalla, si Allah jabi, mafa jabani de, mafa Allah jabani, but si Allah jabi, inshallah si sobe yalla, if Allah wish, she will be vice president for 5 years. And after Barrow, I will be president. When I become president, husband and wife, just like in Kazakhstan, Jite president, madam, my sweetheart, first lady, vice president. The other first lady or second lady, Mariama Dentin, speaker. So that is going to be a dynasty, Jite dynasty. Fatoumata Tambajang, president, vice president. So, I mean, I am proud of our mothers. And we cannot see great things out of small things, Gambians. Barrow, we should be proud of him. And he has not only appointed people like Yaya Jammeh would do. Of course, I agree 100% that Aissatou Njie said he was qualified as a person academically for a vice president. But her behaviors, her behaviors were terrible. But look at look at this lady, Fatoumata Tambajang. Look at her track record. And look at the lady, National Assembly Speaker. And you've observed something. There is a lady who is not only a woman in the National Assembly, but also the first visually impaired female in Gambia's history. In the National Assembly. Very, very, very important appointments. They may look small to people, but these are great things. The other thing that I want to appeal to Barrow for is, and I'm going to say it, I'm going to say it. I was not expecting to see this lady this long without being appointed, Ramzia Diab, among the top echelons of those that worked and placed their lives on the line for this coalition to happen. Among them, she is. There are 4 women involved. Aissatou Toure, I mean those, the ones that would perhaps be given position, because UDP, we had Ajiam Seka, very instrumental, but we have Ramzia Diab, Ami Bojang, Aissatou Toure, Fatoumata Tambajang. These people worked hardest. And all of them are in position except Ramzia. I am hoping, I'm not saying Barrow is doing something wrong, but I'm hoping that President Barrow remembers her because, you know, we need her. Send her to Nigeria as an ambassador. If she hears that, she will laugh. But yeah, consider her, please. She's an amazing woman. You can make her a minister. You can make her an ambassador. You can make her, I don't know what her expertise is, but she's an amazing person. She works very hard. And you know, whenever I speak, sometimes people say I'm a tribalist. And I'm also now, I even reduce talking about those things. But sensitivity to diversity sometimes is not bad. There was a day I spoke and said, you know, let's give positions to Christians. People started talking to me, hey, Ahmad, you are a tribalist, you know, no religion. I believe, yes, it's fine. But if you are sensitive to diversity, there's nothing wrong with that. We need qualified people. Yes, you can get a qualified person and still be sensitive to diversity in that qualified person. No, Ramzia is not my wife. No. Ramzia's mother is my sweetheart. Ramzia is my daughter. You know, her mom is my darling, special one. Their mom is my special one, not Ramzia. No, she's my auntie. So that's important. Ramzia Diab actually represents another community. She's from the Arab community, the Lebanese Gambian community. And we do not have those people much represented. I'm not saying this because I want to bring division. I'm not saying this because I want to ridicule this government. I'm not saying it because I am saying it because I want all of us to see ourselves in things. And as Africans, as Gambians, these are very important things. So bring her in, and you have the Arabs. They don't want to be called Arabs. Well, the Lebanese community. Gambians, Lebanese Gambians. Whoa. Thank you for reminding me. Mark Jane. Yes, Fatoumata Tambajang. She is the African Woman of the Year. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine? Not the awards by Yaya Professor Jammeh. Can you imagine again? Aïssatou Touré went to the United States to pick up one of the most prestigious awards in the United States. I read that somewhere. Aïssatou Touré, just within 2 days of her appointment. These are things Gambians want. For 22 years, we only had awards from so-called Nigerian Lawyers Association and so-called Pan-Africanist Association that were looking for Gambian people's money. But today we are proud. Fatoumata Tambajang is the new African Woman of the Year. Aïssatou Touré also backed this wonderful prestigious award. Our women again. And I have no doubt that this speaker as well, the speaker of the National Assembly, man, this government is going to be fantastic. And I want to say thank you to Uncle Matthew Jallo. You have been doing a wonderful job. I had wanted to make a video about you. Not because you are here and full, sometimes that's your problem. If people promote you, you change into hyenas. That's your problem, you fools. But Uncle Matthew, you've been an amazing person. There is no better way. There is no appropriate word in the dictionary that I would ever use to say thank you to you. You've had everything. You are the most pleasant human being I've ever seen. You argue with your sons. You argue with your daughters. You argue with your grandchildren. I've never ever seen you insult anyone that disagrees with you. Uncle Matthew Jallo, you are an amazing and a gem for Gambia. And I assure you, we've all learned a lot from you. The Gambia learns a lot from you. Continue to work hard. And it's going to be fantastic. So, Jerejef, Uncle Matthew, Jarama Bui, Jarama Bui, Jarama Bui. You are an amazing person. You've done an amazing work. I have had in mind, but I would even do that regardless. I'll make a special video. I've followed you for 5 years. And I'm proudest of you. Sometimes we may disagree. But I've also looked at your lines of disagreement and response to those that disagreed with you. But all at a very professional, very intellectual, and very logical level. No emotions attached, no insults. You've helped me too. I'm a very emotional person. Sometimes I want to insult. When you disagree, I want to. But I've learned a lot from you, Uncle Matthew Jallo. I want you to know that. You've taught a lot of people, Gambia as a country, but individuals like myself, I've learned a lot from you. And if there is one thing I learned more, is your patience. So thank you, Jerejef. But don't change that because you are a fuller. If people promote you, you go and change. Very soon they will tell me I'm a tribalist again. But fuller, if I promote you, don't change. Uncle Matthew. So Jerejef, Gambians, we thank you very much. Congrats to Fatoumata Tambajang, Aïssatou Touré. Please, President Barrow, consider Ramsia Diab. She's an amazing person. She worked hardest. Adunying arjana nyini tenyindulade. Arjana nyini tije. You have a lot of ministers, I said it and I don't want to repeat, that were never part of this struggle. They never even want to be noticed. But they are today ministers. Ramsia Diab was actually on the list of those that should be killed when Jammeh wins. I'm sure you all know about that. She fled to Senegal. She was among those that was supposed to be killed. But thanks to Allah, everything worked perfectly. Mbal kondona mbal jaila. Almalen nalso kairola. Almalen kisa sedano. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.